Way, hey, hey, everybody. It's certainly been a while. How y'all doing? Shibinero here on a Friday evening. And this has been a long time coming. This has been a long time coming because it's not that we haven't tried to do this stream before, but I figured it made sense to wait until the official release of the TMNT Cowabunga collection. So here we are. Friday night, people. TMNT 1. How y'all doing? And obviously I'm going to talk about my experiences with the game over the years. And, just some history with me and how much I love this franchise. So, without further ado, I'm going to play through this game. Not 100% the way I did back in the day when I was a kid. Because, let's face it, there are some really awesome features in the TMNT Cowabunga collection that allow you to play it as it should have been played way back in the day, but I'll go into that when we get to the actual game. So let's start this. The only thing I haven't played through all the games in the collection yet. The only one I've played through all the way so far is the arcade game, and I have started playing, on my own, the first game. And I played that game so much as a child that I literally know where everything is in the game. So, and the reason why the video is at the bottom, at least, because this collection features borders for every single game, and where my face is literally is in a place on the border that will not obscure anything. Copyright infringement. There is that. So you'll notice that the theme song is not 100% the same as the 80s cartoon, and that has to do with the fact that they would probably have to pay Chuck Lorre royalties. But it's the same if you own the arcade 1-up version of the TMNT arcade game. And it does play in the arcade version as well when you play that game. But the arcade game will probably be the next game I stream. But let's go with the first game. And I do like the style of this. How it's like the 80s comic book, which started it all, obviously. And ironically, the first game, even though it was made primarily to captivate or capture the success of the 80s TV show, the artwork of the first game, right here, is taken from issue 4 of the black and white comic, the color variant cover, which is when the Turtles all had red bandanas or red masks before they showcased the different colors that most people have come to associate with the characters. But that, if you ever seen the Toys That Made Us episode all about the TMNT, it goes into detail about that, like making the different colored bandanas and all that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, before we start the game, let me just show you this thing. Like, each game has literally enhancements, or you can even change the region of the game. You can play the Japanese version if you so desire. But the first Ninja Turtles game was notorious for having slowdowns and certain, like that, like you're seeing on the screen there, or screen flicker, if you will. And if you press the minus button, because we're playing on the Nintendo Switch version, you can turn those things off. And now I've decided to turn them on, as in like remove the slowdown and to remove the sprite flicker, so that it can be as flawless as an experience. So, as you can see, removes the sprite limitation of the original NES hardware, smooth animation at all times. When too many characters are on screen, obviously that's what causes a slowdown. So we have fast action all the time. So let's start her up. See, I perfectly position my face in the corner right here. If you've ever heard the Vomitron version of this theme, like the NES music, it's awesome. I love it. So basically, TMNT gets a bad rap, at least the original game, for being one of the most difficult games in the NES library. Now, there is some truth to that it is definitely one of the most difficult games to complete, depending on how you look at it. But most people I've read online seem to have a problem with the second level, which is the Hudson River level, when you have to defuse all the bombs in the river within a certain amount of time. That is actually not the most difficult portion of the game. The most difficult portion of the game is the final level in the Technodrome, and that's where luck kind of comes into play. But obviously with retro compilations such as this one, you know, you can create save states and just restart from any point in the game that you want to. Unlike the original NES days, we had continues. Remember those, kids? Where games, when you lose all your lives and you die, you could continue where the last level that you completed was the start of the last level. But in, I think, the first TMNT game, there were only, I think, 2 or 3 continues at most. So if you didn't complete the game within those 3 chances, then you go straight back to the beginning of the game. But without further ado, let's get into this. Now, you're probably wondering also, why does if this is a series that was licensed by Konami, why does the beginning of the game say Ultra Games at the top? Well, obviously back in those days, Nintendo only allowed companies to issue so many games a year. And because they were already at their limit, they decided to create a subsidiary company known as Ultra Games. And that's how they got around the loop. That was the loophole. That's how they got around it. So anyway, so how do you play this game? So basically, you have control of all 4 turtles at any given time. Well, depending on when they get captured. Obviously, when you take damage and you take hits and your health goes to 0, you lose one of the turtles. And then the only way you can regain that turtle is if you find them, if you rescue them. And there are certain levels in the game where they can be rescued. Mainly levels 3 to 6, you can rescue them. But each turtle has their own unique weapon, obviously. But the main thing is that when you're on the overview map like this, the white dots indicate entrances to either sewers or buildings. That flashing dot indicates your current position. And as you move around the map, obviously it'll change. So, but when you get into like actual side view or platform view, so see, I can walk around and I can attack stuff, right? But when you're like here, so each turtle can have forward, and when you press up, vertical attack, down, and obviously jump and attack. So at the bottom there is your health, 8 bars, and then obviously when you get hit, you take damage. So you can switch between any turtle. Raph, same thing, as you saw in the opening. Donnie. So you'll notice, so basically Donatello has the most impact as the character, the hardest, he hits the hardest, but he moves the slowest. Michelangelo and Leonardo are kind of like trade-off average, and then Raph is by far, he's the quickest, but he's also the weakest. So he does the least amount of damage. So it's basically kind of like a strategy game where you have to utilize all 4 turtles for whatever situation you come across. I usually like to start with Leo because he's average, and I save Donatello for like when I need him, like heavy hitters, like when I run into some difficult enemies. But pretty straightforward platform action. Some of the enemies though in this game were not in the TV show, and I think they were trying to capitalize off the success of the TV show with this game. because obviously the Technodrome is the final level in this game, and the Technodrome, at least to my knowledge, was not featured in the original black and white comic. Like, there's definitely like inspirations. Shit, I'm not doing too well. This is so unlike me. Oh jeez, look how much health I lost. You know what? I'm gonna cheat. Oh yeah, pizza obviously revitalizes your health, but obviously if you find one, you can always come back and just to reinstate to make it easier. It's not like once you consume that pizza, it's like totally gone. So go in the sewer. It's been a while since we've streamed anything, so I do apologize for the lack of a presence on the YouTube channel. I am actually in the process of editing 2 unboxing videos. One is for a limited runs games release. When you pick up a secondary weapon, when you press the minus button or the select button on your NES controller, in the NES case, you gain access to use that weapon. Now boomerangs, see, when it comes back, it comes back. Other weapons include shuriken, triple shuriken, boomerang obviously, and the infamous Kai or scroll. This is the most powerful one. Bebop. Bebop's a mini boss, by the way. Let's use the cheat. He got in my way. Gave me damage. I don't like that. Obviously, the beauty of this collection is that it's got 13 different games. And I don't care how infamous some people think this game is, and that only diehards of the franchise would like this game. And my opinion on that is, yes, I am a fan of the TMNT in most iterations, and I had most of the games growing up, but that doesn't make me a mindless zombie or an idiot. Like, I like this game because I like the game, and I figured out how to play it. Just because you don't know how to play a certain game and you suck at it, doesn't make it a bad game. So, to all those people who can't get past the water level, you probably just really suck at that game and haven't figured out the gameplay mechanics. That doesn't mean that there aren't bad games that exist out there, but this one is definitely, if you give it a chance and learn how to actually play it, it's not that difficult at all. At least, the water level is not as difficult as most people claim it to be. Again, you just really suck at it. Is it this one? No, it's not that one. It's this one. I'm gonna do the trick again. And as you play the game, you'll notice that certain turtles are stronger against certain enemy types of characters. And normally, a group of enemies are specific. So like these peach-colored enemies all appear, like the stone guy, those hanging upside down things. Like, they all appear together. If you get like the flame guys, you'll get a different set of enemies. But I keep getting the thing. And obviously certain characters are strong against certain enemy types. That doesn't mean, it also means the groups of enemies can change. So like, it just depends on what the computer likes to think. So I could go here and just see like different types of enemies. Just gotta be careful. It's not really a hard game at all though. Alright, so this is the final destination of Area 1. And obviously when you pause, like Splinter or April will give you clues if you're stuck and don't know what to do. It'll kind of give you a hint on where you gotta go next. One thing though I do really like about this collection or compilation is that there's like little mini strategy guides, either even area maps, you know, kind of like what Nintendo Power used to do back in the day. It's featured. Like if you go in the extras section, you will see it. Like if you're unsure, you can definitely refer to that. If you get stuck, if you catch my drift. Now, reason why we switched to Donnie, I'm going to show you an infamous trick. It's a cheap trick, but it'll work. Watch this. Okay. All you got to do, stand up here, and just sit down, and you'll hit him. Actually, I'm not hitting him. There you go. This is the easy way to beat Rocksteady. You just gotta get lucky, and then one more hit, and he's done. I'll just do it my way. I don't need no stinking cheat to beat Rocksteady. Wonder if anyone's online watching this. Probably not, but that's okay. Alright, so now we're in the infamous Hudson Dam level. Okay, I'm gonna switch to bring Leo back in. I'll heal Donnie up. That's the strategy part of the game, is that you use whoever you want, but obviously when one runs low, you want to kind of switch to another character who's available. And that's kind of how it plays out in the river in the portion of this level, because you want to utilize, like, have your reserves and save them. Boy, I'm not doing too well against the foot soldiers lately. Okay, but obviously you keep an eye on your health as you go throughout the game. So I have a half pizza there. Who's weaker, Donnie or Leo? Looks like they're about the same. I would pick Donnie. Now you can pick up the shuriken if you want. Shurikens are kind of useless, but they're... The triple shuriken is better in my opinion. Usually when I get secondary weapons like shuriken, I usually try and get rid of them because they're not really that great. Obviously I like the triple one better because it's got a wider range. And when that music appears, that's when the mini boss shows up. Put Leo back in. Goodbye. Almost that's the exit, so we're almost at the portion where we gotta dive into the river. I bet you're wondering, why haven't you used Raphael or Michelangelo yet? Well, Raphael, by far being the weakest character, I reserved him for special occasions. And Michelangelo is my favorite, so I want to reserve him for when I really need him. I'll use the two most dependable characters, which are Leo and Donnie. In my opinion. You can look at it however, any way you want. Like Leo being average, and Michelangelo not being that far behind, but Donatello being the strongest by far. Okay, so... shit. And that's the thing about this, is like jumps. Jumps are definitely infamous in this game. Oh shit. That's the thing too. When you pick up a secondary weapon, if like they appear at random and you pick it up, it'll erase your other one. So when you get the scroll, because it does appear in the wild, you kind of want to hold on to it and be careful when you're going around the board. So here we go. Now we're going to jump in the river. Okay. So there's a bomb. So what you're going to need to do is defuse them all. There's 8 in the river. Now you have to be wary of like the electrical trap as well as the ones that'll like totally capture you, like the seaweed. Well, not the seaweed, but that. You fall in that, you're done. You lose a turtle. Or they get captured. So you notice though when they're disarming the bombs, the timer stops also suddenly. So don't get too low because it's kind of like a magnet, I guess if you will. So third, and that is electric seaweed. So there's an area where people infamously die because they get surrounded by it. But that's where you reserve a full healed turtle to like traverse through that area and then switch to another turtle. Hence, that's the strategy point of this game. So like up there is the surrounded area. I'll show you. Like it's very difficult to navigate this. See? And then switch to another guy. See, Leo is almost... I shouldn't have done that. I should have like used Raph from the start. Or another full. Technically you can get through this level 2 characters if you're very careful. 1 is hard. I've never done it with 1. But this is the level that people seem to have the most difficulty with. And if you were to pause it to like, you know, show the status screen, it'll April will tell you how many bombs are actually left to be disarmed. So there's 1 according to what she said. And that would be the 1 right there. Come on. And we did it. There you go. I proved to you that it can be done. So again, my thoughts, you probably just suck at it and don't know how to actually play this game. I could sure go for a pizza right now, actually. Alright. Well, now, this is the cool portion of the game, in my opinion. Because you get to drive the turtle van. So obviously, you know those steamroller type enemies? You gotta be wary of them. Because obviously if you were to go out there with the turtle and they hit you, you lose a life, you get captured, you die. So you see that missile icon there? Obviously we can drive around, but we can only go so far. See, we can't go through here because we need missiles to blow up this barricade. So who am I? I'm Raph right now, okay. The rope, she's talking about the rope. The rope is something you'll use in level 4. But the missile is what you need. And to exit the turtle van, you press select, and they will come out. But let's switch. No, not Leo. Let's bring in Mikey, because he's full health. His like vertical attack is kind of like not as like effective as Donnie or Leo. Mostly because of the long reach of their weapon. Okay, so Leo is the most hurt. So we'll do that. That's the strategy part of it, you know, switching to and on the fly between the characters. Okay. See how the enemy groups changed? Like we were fighting those guys that were like blue and pink, and now we're fighting like the fire guys. And who's to say that it wouldn't change? So there's a missile. So how do you get the missile? I'll show you. Oh, we lost it. That's the thing about when that's how you do it. So now we have 10. And I do this like 3 more times to get a set of 40. Like I think 30 is more than enough than what you need, but I always go for 40. The thing about missiles though is they stop when you like destroy barricades, but when you can fire them at, you know, enemies as well. So let's put in Leo. So now he's healed. So now we'll do a run with Raph to refill Raph. Now, there's many other buildings you could enter in this level, but you don't necessarily need to go into all of them. At least not this level. Same with level 4, which is the airport. But again, the hardest part of the game is not the thing level, the river. It is the Technodrome. Like the final section of the Technodrome is hard because of the specific enemy types that only show up in the Technodrome. That and trying to manage your health as best you can while running into said enemies. I wonder if the strategy guide says that. I like using Michelangelo though. He's my favorite. He's about average like compared to the others. Okay, so you want to do this thing again. So that's 20. So we gotta do it 2 more times. I've never actually seen that fire guy. It says in the instruction manual, which you also have access to, that eventually those flames that he shoots out will produce clones of him. But I've never seen it actually grow into another fire guy. So it's probably just something they put in the manual, which wasn't technically true. This game came out actually around the same time as the arcade game, and I remember specifically loving the arcade game because the arcade game had the actual theme song in it, like as an intro, and it was the actual one used in the show, unlike the one that you saw or heard when we started this up. And those who have the arcade 1-up like I do know what I'm talking about. The arcade 1-up is kind of just a nostalgia piece, because I think prior to the arcade 1-up being released, the only time the arcade game was released was on Xbox Live Arcade, as well as it's an extra in the TMNT 2 Battle Nexus game, which is based off of the 2003 series. That's the only way you could access the arcade game. And then obviously with the third game, the extra was Turtles in Time, which is also on this collection. Now, some people, an unpopular opinion that I have, everyone claims that Turtles in Time is the best TMNT game ever made. And don't get me wrong, like as a kid, I loved the game, and I still do to this day, and I like playing it. The arcade version and the SNES version. But is it the best or my favorite? No. By far, my favorite is the first one. The first arcade game. Mainly because that was at the height of Turtle Mania in 1988 or 1989. And because I had to actually pay like money to play the game, that made it all the more special. Because I had studied it, like how to move the characters and whatnot. And as an adult, like now having an arcade 1-up in my house of those two same games, I can never get as far as I got when I played as a kid. It's just so much more difficult 30 years later than it was back in the day. But I remember whenever we went on vacation or we went to the airport, it was always like one of the games actually in the airport arcade, and I always loved, playing that game. I think when malls had arcades, I think the mall in my hometown had that game. I cannot remember specifically, but I have played it. And obviously amusement parks or bowling alleys, stuff like that. That was one of the times that where I encountered that game. Another fun memory I have of the TMNT arcade game is, in particular, when I was in camp, maybe when I was like 10 or 11, there was a camp that went around to various attractions, through the summer, like Wonderland or whatever, amusement park, go-karting track, whatever. And obviously when we couldn't go to the destination we wanted to go to, mostly because, mostly like weather or rain, something like that, we would sometimes go to the movies instead, and that was cool. See the respawning thing. But one of the times I remember we went to a place in Whitby, Ontario, which is east of here, and we went to a place called Family Cartways, and it rained, so we couldn't really go on the go-kart track. But there was an arcade there, and whenever we do stuff like that, they give us money to play the games. And in this case, they were taking tokens, because some arcades they operated like that. And one of the games there was the original TMNT arcade game. Now this must have been 1990. Yeah, it would make sense because the game came out in 89. But they had the game there, and then that was like one of the first times actually that I've ever played the game with 3 other players. And I don't remember, I think I was Mikey, because I always usually pick Mikey. But I remember we pumped so many, because we had 3 other it was a 4-player game and we had all 4 players, we were able to at least, divide up the load of enemies. So for one person to take on all the enemies is a difficult task in itself. And to do that for when you have all 4 turtles, you can do, as I said, you can divide up the work, and that made it easier to actually get through all the levels. So much so that we actually got to the final level in the Technodrome and beat the game. So that was actually the first time I ever saw the ending to the arcade game in the arcade in front of my eyes. My little 10-year-old, 11-year-old eyes. Now, why are we doing this, you may ask? Well, that, my friends, is the, not infamous, but the awesome scroll. And what I am doing is a run to get 99 scrolls for every single character. Of course, you have to be careful in doing this because the minute a secondary weapon picks up, and if you accidentally walk up to it, you will cancel all your hard work. So what I'm doing is, I'm doing this 20 times. Now you can exit the stream if you want, but this is what I am doing. Now if I had this, like the scroll in the final level of the Technodrome, it would be a cakewalk. The good thing though is that the way this game is designed, you can switch between the characters at any given time, provided they're available and they didn't get captured. One thing I've never understood is that they're turtles, they're reptiles. If they fall in the water, they should not drown. Oh shit, like this. That normally should not happen. Well, let's do it the reverse way. I totally screwed that up. Oh shit. See what I mean? It totally screwed it up. You know what? Who cares? Let's get the pizza and get out of here. Or at least get like one set of scrolls. I'm just doing this in reverse. See, this is where we were. Shit. Get out of the way. This is where jumping has to be like precise. That and your fall pattern. Now, we don't need those ropes till like the next level. And the scroll should be here. Yeah. As I get bombed, turn it off. Well, mental note, Donnie has a scroll. So I'm gonna go fall in the water now. Okay, so let's switch. Now let's keep Donnie. No. So I will show you. Okay. The foot soldiers look nothing like the foot soldiers in the actual cartoon. The best thing though, you can run them over and not take any damage in the process. That's why I fire a missile instead, because we got plenty to spare. Get out of here. This is sadly the only level where you get a vehicle of some kind. Like, we don't need to do that, but I'll do that anyway. Oh, why didn't it work? Get out of here, punk ass bitch. Okay. Nah, I just gotta be careful. Don't want to lose this scroll again. Shit. The funny thing is that I don't think the slowdown thing was ever available, like to turn it off in see, that could have gone bad. In other retro compilations released by Digital Eclipse. Another one being Street Fighter was another one that they did. All the Mega Man ones they did too. And if you've played Mega Man 2, you'll know that there's a scene in the first Dr. Wily Castle level where it slows down. We're going to fight the dragon. And that is present in the current state of the Mega Man Legacy Collection for Mega Man 2. So I am surprised that they didn't fix that. Okay, so now we're on to the final portion of this level. And we go in here. This is another area where the slowdown would occur. The too many enemies on screen because they put a shit ton of those fire guys in this hallway. But see, I didn't experience any of that. It's almost like playing a totally different game than the original NES version. Bomb on me. So much for having perfect health for the boss fight. Okay. I noticed a little bit of slowdown. Okay, well let's turn the scroll on. Oh my god, look how much health it takes off. Totally useless. Goodbye. Notice that with every level you go up, the map seems to get bigger. Well, that's true in some aspect, but remember to turn it off. Because if we can save it for like the final level, that'd be great. Shit. You and your stupid boomerang. Again, the only real enemies from the actual show are obviously Bebop and Rocksteady, Shredder, and the Foot Soldiers, and the Mousers. But these guys, like the robots, they were definitely not in the show. Same with these boomerang bastards. The boomerang bastards, y'all! And like, all those fire guys, they were definitely not in there. Maybe they were in the comic books or something. I've started like, you know, reading the comic digitally. That's one reason why I love my tablet. Alright. So this is the area where the rope comes into play. And I've got way too many for how many of these gaps I have to traverse. There's only 3 in the whole entire game, which kind of makes it kind of useless in a way. And again, that is the only time you will use it. Stupid dink in his boomerang. Okay. I'm gonna keep an eye on Donnie though. Oh, that was close. Ah, shit. Get out of here. Totally screwed everything up. My best laid plans. You notice why I'm not turning this off, because I want to get rid of it. I will keep it on until I get rid of it. Shuriken. The boomerang though is actually pretty useful. And it is a strategy used in the next level. Specifically the boss fight. You know how I was doing the repopulate trick with the pizza? You can do that. But obviously the difference is, like, when you get pizza, you have to exit the sewer or the area where the pizza is and then come back. But in this other area where secondary weapons show up, you just go one screen up, go one screen down, it's back. At least... Oh, I used them all. Okay. See, I don't even pay attention anymore. Okay. For its time, though, this game was really fun. It's still fun. Like, I like playing this game because I'm still familiar with it. I got another one. Again, trying to get rid of it. Okay. I think it's this one. Yes. Shit. Turn it off. Now turn it off. Oh shit. That was not what I wanted to do. That's one thing I always accidentally do on more occasions than one. The minus button is so close to the capture button. Oh shit, get off this mic. Shit. I hope we don't lose Donnie. Well, if we do, which we just did, I know where to find him. What a piece of shit. And here I thought it would go through the wall. Shit. You can only rescue one at a time, unfortunately. Shit! He's infamous. So yeah, in this aspect, maybe it is a little bit difficult, but... Shit! When they get in your way. Now Leo's on the brink. Gotta go find a pizza. But first, rescue Donnie. Don't fall in the gap. Don't fall in the gap. Good. You wanna go in here. The minute we get Donnie, he's going back in. And then I wait to find a pizza for Leonardo. So this is the runway. Where are the planes? They fly overhead. Sometimes they drop bombs on you. Or try to drop a bomb on you. Okay, so this is the infamous thing. So there's Donnie. So now he's back in our party. I talk about it like it's an RPG. Alright. Well, we've been going only 48 minutes. So I think... Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one. This is one of the infamous slowdowns. Specifically with all the activity on screen. So... There's one. Plus I'm on like a conveyor belt. Okay, we got rid of them all. I'd like to get the scroll. It is very beneficial, but why not? Try it. Fuck. Shit, don't use it! Now this gap is the big pain in the ass. See, because you die. And unfortunately, he will not be there. So now we're without Donnie. Now this has just got a little bit more difficult. All because of my over-ambition to to get a blasted scroll. So, but I still gotta heal Leo. Jeez. Not being able to see what's on the other side's kind of the difficult part. Okay. I think it's, I believe it's this one. No, it's not that one. Actually, time for some pawn work. Oh, I can hit him. Okay. Oh, all this for like... But it worked though, didn't it? We're in better shape now. I think there's another one in here. When he comes back, you can get it. Well, first thing when we get to the next level is rescue Donnie. It's down there, see it? See, once we get past this, this section, it'll be a little bit easier to navigate because there is an item I have not shown you yet. Shit. It's called Mr. Invincibility. Kind of like the star in Super Mario Brothers. So see it right there? What you do, then you become invincible. But then obviously when you start blinking, it wears off. Now all of our characters are full, the ones we have anyway, so we should be able to exit this level without much fuss. I'm only just killing these enemies for the points, so obviously that's something you guys don't have in games anymore, not that I know of anyway. Shit, I gotta keep Leo alive though. Best I can. I'd rather have this. Thank you. Turn it off. I like his reach though. It definitely helps me out. Oh shit. If I didn't destroy that, I probably would have survived that. But this is where you gotta be careful. Stop and drop technique like this, because if you get caught between those walls you will die. Don't bother going for the pizza, you will not make it, and if you screw it up you die. Oh boy, who's to do this? Mikey? No. Now we got 2 turtles to rescue. Shit. We can only rescue one. No, we can rescue another one, but that's in the Technodrome. Okay, I'm not feeling it here. There. I wonder who we'll get to rescue. I didn't need to do that, but why did I do it? I might as well use the boomerang on the boss, if I get there. Since both of these guys kinda got limited range. don't know why it took them so long to like put this in a compilation. The only other time that I can think of where this game was available digitally was on the Wii Shop channel, and it wasn't available for a very long time. Okay, so this is what you do. Oh, I forgot the... No. This way. This is why Donnie and Leo were like suited for this boss. Donnie and Leo just make it like a cheap battle. I hope we get Donnie back. Goodbye. Only two of us flying this thing. Alright. Now, in the 5th level, obviously the Technodrome is what you're looking for. But it's underground, and there's various ways to get there. And just because there's 3 paths to take to the underground, and the Technodrome is supposed to appear at the end, but it's totally at random which one it is, so you don't really know which path to take. Alright, so this is the boomerang thing. So when I drop down here, right, and then we go back up, stock up. And that's how you get 99. Of course, I'm short 3, but I can fix that. Okay, now you switch to a different guy. But the idea is, like, when you have all 4 turtles, you can use them to your advantage when you reach the Technodrome. Okay, so now that we let's put Mikey back in charge. Let's try and heal him up, and then go to the if it's not this building, then it's the other building where the captured turtles are. The reason why I'm going here is jeez, gonna get out of here. Oh, and of course those bozos have to be there. I think there's a pizza here, I'm not too sure. Oh no, this isn't the one. Oh, but there's a scroll up there though. But to get to it, well, why don't we see what else is up here? Maybe we can find some pizza. Yeah, it's probably here. Yeah, there it is. So it's the other building you want to go into. So, which is this one. By the way, and if you get caught by the searchlight, the foot soldiers will come out and try to beat the crap out of you. Oh, you stupid bitch. Get out of here. So I wonder which turtle it'll be. Donnie! Thank you. It's Donnie. So Leo is probably in the Technodrome. Wonder how we rescue him. I should refer to the map and see. Okay, now that we got Donnie, let's beef up Donnie. And then we'll go into the underground with him. But you see how this game is kind of like a combination of a platformer and action game. And it's somewhat strategic in nature. But of course, it was meant to be like a kid's game. But it definitely is not. It's a little bit advanced. But that doesn't mean a kid, especially someone like me as a kid, couldn't understand it and get into it. I definitely did. But it took me a very long time before I actually saw the ending of the game, which was kind of lame and short. But back in those days of gaming, you know, just beating the game is an achievement in itself. Especially if that game is infamously hard to begin with. Is he like... Yeah, he is. Okay, so we should probably see if we can find some pizza in here. Oh shit. Donnie got no problem. He'll take you all on. Oh, you stupid bitch, get out of here. Oh shit. But it's best to prepare by having all your characters at full strength. Because the enemies in the underground are not typically like easy hit kills like this. Get out of here. Obviously when you get hit, you get hit. Screws up my mojo. But that's why this game is infamously kind of difficult. Got rid of him. Maybe we'll get lucky and find it on the first try. Because it is like a hit and miss. Shit! This game does definitely take a little bit of patience, but probably not as much as something like Dark Souls. It's not being able to see what's around the corner that can be the bitch. And then one little thing will screw it up. Get out of here, bitch. Come on. There we go. Ah, shit. Done. Into the underground we go. Get out! Come on. I don't know if I'll do a 2-for-1 sale today. Maybe if I'm up to it, maybe we'll do the arcade game as well. Which was some fantastic memories playing that. Again, I don't know why it took so long for that. Let's go into this one. Oh god, the tadpole guy. Get. Because you never know when he's actually going to come at you. Or fire the sperm. Ah, shit. And when you get hit. Shit. But we're too far gone already. We gotta keep going. Like, don't worry too much about staying to get rid of. It's all about dodge. Oh shit! Totally fucked up everything. I'm gonna go back now. Fucking asshole. Oh, that's not my one. Oh, who cares? No, this isn't where I wanted to go. See what I mean by it totally ruins everything. Get out of here. Get out of here. You need those scrolls. Normally I wouldn't care like when something like that happens, but in this case I do. And you will see why it's important to have this stuff, because it'll definitely make your life easier. Alright, do this stupid crap again. Oh, great, not acting so good. Oh, you piece of shit. Well, one good thing is that it's not like Zelda, like when you can't heal yourself and the sound doesn't go away. Get out of here. It's gonna show up again. Alright. Now, beauty of this collection though is that you have save states, unlike the original game, which did not. You only had limited continues. So let us pick the same. I'm gonna pick the same one and hope that we get lucky. Shit. Hey, if it gives us points, I'm gonna do it. This is a problem because he's not 100% predictable. Unless he takes forever to kill. Oh god. I still got hit though, which sucks. There's another one earlier. If you can avoid them, avoid them. Shit. Or watch them fall down the hole. rid of them. And that guy's even worse than that testicle guy. Again, enemies not in... God, is he just gonna like... Shit, get out of here. Oh shit. Okay, so this is the door. Let's hope that it's behind here. Yep, there it is. This is why you need the boomerang, because you cannot touch that or you'll die. So you gotta be very patient. Okay, and this is where I use my pawn. The boomerangs are mainly for those electrical parts. And obviously the target's at top. Got one of them. Got both of them. Again, conserve your... Get out of here, bitch. I have a feeling we're going to be using a continue soon anyway. Now that's dead. So what do you do? Well, first I want to take care. Ah, shit. Turn it off. Turn it off. Okay. Shit. Don't fall off. Trying to hit it. There we go. Dead. Get out of here. Can use this with the eyeball too. That's what I do. Dead. I used to feel a sense of achievement when I got this far, but then obviously the Technodrome is the hardest level by far. Those stupid cannons too. But obviously this is much more difficult without Leonardo. And that's these guys are the main pain in the ass. Those guys. Heal everybody. And obviously, if you're Donnie, you want to go get that pizza. Actually, to heal up. I've never actually rescued any turtle in the Technodrome before, but looking at the strategy, it shows you that that is a place where you can rescue them. It's like a dead-end corridor or something like that, And it's in this color scheme because there's different color schemes in the Technodrome. There's 3 different color schemes. Oh shit. This is another guy I can't stand. He's another enemy you kind of want to avoid. Shit. Again, wait till it disappears because it is a hindrance to you. This is a difficult section because of the fact that if you fall, your day is done. This is where the boomerang... Oh shit, you fucked it up. Yeah, now we're gonna lose everybody and have to use the continue. I'm gonna see. Let's see if I can find it. I did it again. I'm gonna take the lower half this time. Stupid guy on the jetpack. Avoid him at all costs. At least the pizza's there. Probably. I'm probably going to... I'm going to refill Raph to give myself a fighting chance at least. What the hell, man? Get out of here. Now I gotta give it to Michelangelo instead. But we're gonna go to Lower Road this time because I think that's where the spike trap. Over here. We're about to die anyway. Now we know that it doesn't hit through the projectile. So this is where you would see the continue. But now we're gonna try and make an attempt at this. I never do it on one playthrough. It's almost always impossible. But you see there is some kind of a strategy involved in here. But you generally want to go in the upper area. The upper area is the path you want to take. I was actually playing this not too long ago, and I was surprised actually that I actually beat it. It is really the luck of the draw though. Getting the outcome you want. Okay. Again, this guy. Stand far away from him. But they respawn, that's the sad thing, and look how much they take off. Shit, get, fuck. I'm gonna conserve Leo. Try and save him. Shit. Damn flying enemies. This is the problem one. This one's a little bit easier. The reason why we're doing this that is why. Okay. And drop down. At least here. Shit, why do I always have the worst luck with this shit? Oh, there's nothing there. Don't grab it, 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 don't grab it. Shit! I'm almost tempted to heal Donnie instead. Because down here... Yep. I'm just curious what was over there. You know what? It's not worth investigating. Not where we're going. Shit. Fuck. I gotta keep him healthy. But you see how those guys are a problem. Shit. 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 And this is why. But at least we have multiple guys. Shit! Fuck. Totally screwed everything up. Everything just got screwed up to hell. Because this is the final area. And now we got these assholes coming for us. The scroll is what we needed to propel them away. And now it's a game of... When it narrows like that, that's what we want. But there's a section following. Shit, they are following. This is the area you want, because the guys who retreat, that's what you want. They're not retreating. This is the hardest area of the game. Without a doubt, that is the hardest area of the game. Because it has to have like a balance, if you will. Because obviously we fucked it up. Because all our guys are low on health and not much. These fuckers. The scroll was our ticket there. I want to know where that area is, but I don't know. Does it matter? I wonder if we can try again with the scroll. Is he the only... No, Leo's still left. You know what? Let's actually take a look. Maybe we can fill Leo in too. Might as well try while we're here. Shit. No, doesn't work. Ah, fuck it. I'm gonna have to do this all over again. Response time with the shuriken is not as good as it was back in the day. You know, cutting through their shuriken. Who? Third time's a charm, though. This is the one level where you don't have a map to guide you. Unfortunately. But where we were going was the most direct route. This is a hard game for the wrong reasons. Not what people... Oh, okay, we're... get out of here, you little bitch. At least I took minimum damage that time. Yeah, you don't want to tangle with that dinosaur. Locked out. Shit. They get too close for comfort. I hate that. Now, if we can do this the right way, then... It's hard, I know. But at least it hit him. It definitely takes patience. Come on, dude, where are you? No, don't waste it. Go down. Oh shit, why did it have to be you? Now go. This would be like the perfect place to create a save state. Like right here. Actually not doing too bad. Shit. At least we have reserves. Trying to like get them is the most difficult thing. If you can get him into that narrow corridor where he's just retreating like that, that's ideal. That's what you want. See? But no, people have to be dicks about it. Get out of here. Okay, we're gonna do it this time because we're getting what we want. That's exactly what you want. I'm going to use a sacrificial pawn for this. This is it. You ready? Turn it on. He won't stand a chance. Goodbye. There you go. It can be done. It can be done. It takes just a little bit of planning and strategy. Now give me a trophy if you're playing the PlayStation version. Well, friends, this has been our playthrough of TMNT 1 for the NES. Yes, it is. And we finally beat it and proved to you that it can be done. So, thanks very much, everybody, for checking out the stream tonight. And we will be back next time for TMNT, the arcade game. Thanks very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Stay beautifully imperfect out there. Be kind to yourselves and to each other. Kindness is king. And you all keep up the awesomeness, you hear. Take care and have a good one.